Come, gather round, everyone. They're about to talk Disney. I am still so confused as to whether I'm going to eat at Connections or Creations. So the only way I can keep them straight is I have to think, okay, well, my mouth connects to my stomach, so I guess that's Connections.
So I call Catherine to see how dinner at the restaurant is going, and she says, I can't talk to you right now. I'm talking to Mickey. So I'm like, okay, here's the big cheese. I get it. And then she says, hold on, he wants to talk to you. So she FaceTimes me, and I'm FaceTiming with Mickey as I'm getting ready for the podcast.
I don't understand why people spend hard-earned money on a Mickey ice cream sandwich in the parks. I mean, we literally all have ice cream sandwiches in our freezers at home. We don't have Mickey bars. From the mind and creator of the Disney YouTube channel Living in Diz comes a whole new Disney podcast. Okay, can we talk some serious Disney here now? Nope. Get ready for all the Disney knowledge that you can handle. It's Corey. It's Lawrence. It's the DizPod.
You are now listening to a member of the Disney Podcast family. Head over to Disney Podcast Family on Instagram to see all the latest posts for this show and links to other great Disney podcasts.
Hello and welcome, everyone. What side am I playing? Am I playing the left side, Lawrence, or the right side, Lawrence? I'm just wondering. Welcome. I guess I'm supposed to be playing the right side, Lawrence. But hello and welcome, everyone.
I'm on the screen twice. We're going to move me.
You are. But I'm going to keep talking. So welcome, everyone. We are recording live here on December 10th, 2024. And we do this live because we do it for you all. So welcome for being here. And it is a Christmas snowy edition. Lawrence, I looked at the calendar today, and I can't believe that today marks 2 weeks from now, we will be celebrating Christmas Eve. Can you believe it?
I don't know that I am ready. I think we're kind of ready. I've got some gifts already upstairs. So, but I don't know if I'm mentally prepared. I still haven't done the Christmas lights outside. I don't know. What about you guys in chat? Is everybody ready for Christmas? How about you? I know your tree has been up since Thanksgiving, right?
Yes, a few days before Thanksgiving, the Sunday before Thanksgiving. It's been up, and I've been enjoying that very, very much. And we'll leave it up till at least January 1st. So, yeah, we don't go anywhere for, well, hold on, though. That's different. That's different this year. I might not be here. It might stay up a little bit longer, but who cares? Who cares? But yeah, people said it was going to come quicker because Thanksgiving was so late this year. And it's like, oh, it can't make that much of a difference, but it has. And again, I have to thank Tammy for bailing me out of every life situation. And again, all I have to do is work my little butt off, and she takes care of everything. I will not have wrapped a single present. And because she's doing it, and she's also doing all the shopping. So that's the way that goes. So she's good to me. But I can't wait. I'm excited, and I think there's a few gifts in there that I don't know about. So that's what I like. Because what do you get the people who have everything? Like Tammy and I just kind of feel like we have everything. So you have to kind of really search for things. Mm-hmm. And then it turns out that she buys her own things, I buy my own, and we're like, okay, wrap them. Or do you want to wrap this? Stick it under the tree. We'll grab it, on Christmas Day.
Well, so one year, Catherine has asked me to start doing recently wish list. right? So I have an Amazon wish list, so that makes her life a lot easier because she never knows what to buy me, right? I mean, obviously, right now you could buy me Disney stuff, you could buy me stuff for the studio, and I'm good. Either that or Met stuff, right? So that's typically what it's been the last 2 years. But she's like, having a list works phenomenally. And so the same thing for her. 1 year we did not do list, and we each bought each other an Xbox One. So
Oh,
yeah. So under the tree, there's 2 Xbox Ones there. And so that was pretty funny when we opened them up. We did return one of them. Whoever had, I think one came with 2 games, the other one didn't, so we returned that one.
well, who bought the better one? I bet you did.
I think she did, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
she can correct me. I think she did, yeah.
Okay. Well, the ladies are always much better at finding the deals.
Yes. Yeah, so it's warmed up here, which is weird. And tomorrow we're going to be in the 60s, so that's going to be like a heat wave for us. So that'll be really cool. So maybe I'll get some decorating done tomorrow.
The current temperature here is 67 degrees at 7:11 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah, it's warmed up here too a little bit. So maybe we can be out at Epcot this Saturday's evening in shorts again and T-shirts. That would be nice.
Okay. All right.
I haven't looked that far ahead, though. So we're there with that. And can I say, did you see Wicked yet?
Not yet.
Wicked is got to be arguably the most dramatic, spine-tingling finish to a movie that maybe I've ever seen.
Oh, wow.
Because you're incorporating the soundtrack. You put the soundtrack with the dramatic changes coming to a climax. It's unbelievable. So I can't wait for you to... But I was listening to the end of the soundtrack again today, and I was like, oh, my. So...
Hey, it's Disney Adventure Home's birthday.
Happy birthday to Disney Adventure Home. That's amazing.
How about that?
That's
Happy
awesome.
birthday.
I've got one coming up in a month and maybe 6 weeks. Maybe 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's coming up too. So we have a very special guest today.
Oh, man, I am excited. I can tell you that he must be doing his YouTube algorithm correctly because I was searching for Luminous and a video of his came up, and that's how I first found Gijs. And I was absolutely blown away. Number one, the video that he's using is Cliff's, who's been on the show, friend of ours, does phenomenal work. So I was like, oh, he's using Cliff's video. And then to find out that he's playing the entire soundtrack while the video is going on, synced in perfect timing to the soundtrack to the show, was phenomenal. So very excited to have been able to get him on the show and to find out that there are a lot of people that we both know. He's worked with Neil with Give Kids the World, and Donna is one of his extraordinary mods. I mean, they just overwhelm. They just cross over. It's crazy.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. So definitely excited to have him on the show tonight and to talk some Disney, talk some music. Maybe we might even get him to play something. We'll see.
That would be nice.
But he is live every Sunday on his show and does request a lot of Disney music. So if you do not know Gijs, hopefully after tonight you will. If you have questions for him, make sure to put a Q in the chat before your question, and we will make sure to ask Gijs some questions. He has been generous enough with his time this evening, or for him this morning, because it is like 1 a.m. his time. So he has just been very gracious to come and join us. So if you're ready, Corey, I'll bring him in.
Bring him on.
All right.
Yes.
Hey,
hi
hi.
everyone. Hi Lawrence. Hi Corey. Hi everyone listening and watching.
How are
How are you
you?
guys doing? I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you for
Oh, it's
coming
our
on.
pleasure. Yes,
Yeah,
our pleasure. Thank you.
this is going to be fun. It has been very musical here the last couple weeks. Last week we
Mhm.
talked to Neil about Give Kids the World and Magical Night of Hope, and how he learned music. So we're just continuing that trend of music with you this night. So thank you very much for coming on.
You're welcome. My pleasure. And yes, it is 1 a.m., but don't feel guilty because I'm quite a night owl. So I'm used to going to bed late.
Okay, that's good. That's good because our buddy Neil likes to blow his horn about 1 o'clock in the morning too. So you got something in common. Must be something about musicians, maybe.
I think so, maybe. I don't have a normal job where you have to go to work at like 7 or 8 in the morning. So I like that.
Absolutely. Let's just let's stick with that if Lawrence doesn't mind for a minute. So, how are you involved with Give Kids the World? You're way out there. Where are you currently
Yes,
in the
I am
world?
in the Netherlands. So I
Yeah,
live like about 50 minutes from Amsterdam, and it's called South Holland. And yeah, so I'll be on a Magical Night of Hope for the fourth time. I was there during the very first show, and it was at Donna's house actually. I wasn't there physically. I wish, but I sent in a video to kind of represent Europe in a way to yeah, to really help Give Kids the World Village. So I'll be back
that's
this year, and I will perform a song, and I'm very excited about it.
that's awesome. Such a great cause. That's really cool.
Absolutely, yeah. And I wish I could have been there in person. I really tried, but yeah, it like this week it is for me. I'm a pianist, so it's very busy with performances and things like that. So hopefully next year.
That would be
Okay.
great.
Okay. Yeah.
That would be great. So, tell us, how did you become involved with um, Disney and your love of Disney?
Yeah. Well, I really grew up with Disney. Watching Sleeping Beauty. I think that was the first movie I ever saw in general, and Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, all these movies. So I had them on CD as well, so I listened to them all the time. And I would just we all always had a piano at home, so I always tried to play along just by ear and to figure out the right notes, and then I would listen again, play and play at the same time. No, that's wrong, another time. So that's kind of how I practiced to play by ear, really. And yeah, it really started with Disney songs because those were the first songs I ever heard. And when I was about 8 years old or so, 7, 8, I went to Disneyland Paris for the first time. And yeah, that's how things started to happen, really. Yeah.
Wow. And that something must have really grabbed you about the music, the Disney music, and the Disney parks, because eventually you started playing there.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And it was really funny. It was in a year I performed at Carnegie Hall with a Japanese soprano, and it was very different. I also played some Disney, and then a month later, I went to Disneyland Paris with friends of mine, and we were at the Disneyland Hotel, and there was a piano there. It's kind of like the Grand Floridian, but the Paris version.
Okay.
And my friends were like, guys, play on the piano. And I was very shy, like, no, no, no. And it is locked. And no, no, no. But they went to some cast members and they said, can he please play the piano? He just performed at Carnegie Hall. He won't play like with one finger or so. So then I played, and suddenly Mickey and Goofy and all these characters came to the piano. And after two songs, I was like, yeah, okay. Is that's enough? And but cast members came to the piano. Yeah, no, play more, play more. Can you play Go the Distance? And suddenly I got a lot of song requests, and then I got a business card of one of the managers to come work there officially. So I was actually on my way to the swimming pool. So I was wearing flip flops. And then a month later or so, I was wearing a tuxedo. So that was very different. Yeah. So that's how it
Wow.
happened, really. So it was not an audition or something. It was just
Yeah.
playing, and it was so much fun. Yeah.
I've never
One of
gotten
those
job
amazing
offers
stories.
in flip flops. Never gotten a job offer in flip flops.
No,
So
I was wearing shorts too. There are videos on. Back in the day, I used Periscope to do live streams,
mhm.
and I
Oh yeah.
think it is still somewhere on Twitter or X. If you go back years ago, I think you can still find it because my friend started to live stream that
Yeah.
that performance.
Wow.
Performance. It was just my flip flops. Yeah.
That is funny because, when I've listened to your stuff on your channel, I'm like,
Mhm.
"This guy could just show up to the Grand Floridian and get a job." Like, there's no way they could turn him away. No way. So, that's a pretty good story. Hey,
Yeah.
Disney doesn't hesitate when they see talent because we took my mom to 50's Primetime Cafe in Hollywood Studios, and, are you aware, like, what happens in that restaurant?
Yeah. And actually, I'm going back next month, and I have
Oh.
reservations. So,
Oh, yes. Nice. Nice,
yes.
nice, nice. So,
Yeah.
with that said, we took my mom, and my mom is very sassy to begin with, and she was just on point, giving it right back to them, and the manager came out and offered her a job right on the spot, and they were
No
serious.
way. What?
Yeah, I was like,
That's
"Give her the job."
amazing.
And yeah, they did, but she
That's
doesn't wanna
great.
live in Florida, so she couldn't accept, but
Ah,
it's too bad because that
right.
would have been her in. So, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. And for me, I live in the Netherlands, so not in France. And it's like 4 hours by car. And by train, it's only 2.5 hours. It's very, so I wasn't there full time. I was there every month, like between 4 and 10 days in a row or so. And then I had a cast member apartment. And
Mhm.
then I could go back and do my performances and projects here. So, yeah, so that was great. And I speak a little French. So, and at the end, I knew all the titles, all the movie titles in French and German and Spanish. So because people would come to the piano all the time and ask for song requests, so that really improved my my French and other languages because English is not my first language either.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can't tell. You do well in English, and you sing well in
Oh,
English.
thank you. I try.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excuse me. So you played in Disneyland Paris in their hotel.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's the hotel at the entrance. So have you ever been to Disneyland Paris?
No.
Not
You
yet.
should go.
Dying to go. Yes.
Yes. So, for example, at Magic Kingdom, you have the train station, right? So at that spot, that's where the hotel is. So, where the piano is, you have a view over Main Street, and for example, I had to stop playing when the fireworks started because they would play the music
Mhm.
in there too, and then you could see the fireworks and the castle from the windows. So it's a beautiful view.
Wow.
And yeah, so that's it's called the Disneyland Hotel. It's the like they have several hotels, of course, but that's the main one.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I played there for like about 3 years. Then, of course, COVID stuff happened, and then the hotel closed for a long time because they went into renovation. So it has a new theme. It reopened in January, but the pianists are not back yet. So
Oh.
hopefully they will, because there are several pianists. I'm one of them. I believe there were like five
Oh.
yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, 5, 6. Yeah. So
Are you
hopefully,
trying to get
but
back there? Are you trying to
that
get
will be
back there?
awesome. That would be awesome. I know that the grand piano is at least still there, so that is great, of course. And who knows? But it would be wonderful. But if not, I could write a book about all my experiences there, and no one can take those away from me. So
That's
we'll
right.
see.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they wiped the Grand Floridian clean of all that stuff, and the full band never came back.
I
But the
know.
piano yeah, the piano did though. So
Yeah.
hopefully they'll bring back, the pianists there as well because we definitely
Right.
have them back here and they're amazing to listen to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I always visit the live musicians. If it's like the pianist at the Grand Floridian or the Voices of Liberty, the mariachi band. I always love live musicians and live entertainment in general.
Mm.
Absolutely, those are a big part of visiting the Disney parks for me.
Mhm.
So you're going back next month.
Yeah.
How often do you get to Disney World?
Um, I try once a year, but like between 2020 and 23 or two, I didn't go for for a couple of years.
Sure.
I used to have an annual pass a couple of years ago, and then I would go like 3 times a year. But yeah, but yeah, like once a year at least. That's what I try. That's where I'm saving money for it to
Wow.
go. Yeah.
That's a lot more than I would have thought. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, there are direct flights from Amsterdam to Orlando, and that's sometimes you have really good deals. So I'm
Oh,
lucky with that. So,
okay.
yeah.
Have you been to Disneyland in California?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes. That was actually my first, like for me, international. For me, the first park after Disneyland Paris was Disneyland. Was in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And they still had the 50th anniversary fireworks show. Remember Dreams Come True? Yeah, that was an amazing trip. And a couple of years ago, the last time I went there was in 2017, and I played there at the live summit. So there was a summit about live streamers, and I played at the Biltmore Hotel, the Millennium Biltmore.
Mm.
And then I also went a day to Disneyland. That was the last time I went to Disneyland. So that's, yeah, almost 8 years ago.
Could I ask what's your favorite park?
Ooh.
I thought it might
That's
be
a
tough.
difficult question. Okay. Well, I love Epcot because of all the original music that they've written, especially for the park. The atmosphere. Epcot is wonderful. I've recorded lots of Epcot music videos, medleys on YouTube too. But for example, I also really, really enjoyed Tokyo Disney Sea, which is totally different, but also very, very detailed and wonderful. And Disneyland Paris, the castle park, because of all the details and I think they have some of the best versions of the rides, like Big Thunder Mountain at Disneyland Paris is amazing. It's on an island, and you go through a tunnel, and it goes super fast, and yeah. So, but each park has its great thing. So it is it is really hard to pick. But if I had to say right now, I would say Epcot because it is so different to all the other Disney parks, and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so glad he answers questions like I do, because when I get asked that question, I've got to talk as long as you about it. You almost have to talk it out. Like
Yeah.
let me figure it out in my head, because it's just so hard to figure out. And I'm only going through 4 parks in my head. And you're going through multiple parks in different countries. You know, they all bring their own feel to them, right? But I'll say quickly, Epcot there's no other park like Epcot in the world, is there? Like, it is very different from everything that I can ever think of. I love the vibe there. It's a totally different mindset. But I just, what pulls me in just a little bit more is Magic Kingdom, because it's kind of like the OG. It's small world, it's pirates, it's haunted. So my heart is there a little bit more than Hollywood and Epcot, but it's close. Yeah. How about you? I know, Lawrence.
Yeah,
you can say.
Yeah, Epcot number 1 for me, probably Magic number 2, just because of, obviously it has a lot of attractions and it is the park with the castle, but there's just something about Epcot, and of course coming up we have New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve at Epcot is just so different than anywhere else. So yeah, it's Epcot for me for sure. Yeah.
I would even say Epcot probably is the best place to be in the world, right? For New Year's, even better than Times Square. I mean, Times Square is just everybody stuck together like sardines, waiting for the ball to drop, I think.
Yeah, I've done Times Square once as a New Yorker. Did it once, and I was like, okay, check that off the list, and I'm done. But we just did Epcot at New Year's for the first time this past year, and we'll go back and do this one again. Heis, have you spent any holidays in the parks, in any of the parks?
Yes. So, funny story here in the Netherlands, we don't really celebrate Halloween, for example. Growing up, and I saw Nightmare Before Christmas, and I had no idea what Halloween was about. I didn't understand it. So just like 5, 6 years ago, I went to Mickey's Not So Very Scary. What is it? Not So Very Scary Halloween party. That was my first experience celebrating Halloween in my life, with the candy and everything, and people dressing up, and that was super fun. Um, and I also went to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party,
Mm.
which was fun. And also, of course, at Disneyland Paris, I spent New Year's Eve there, with the fireworks and everything. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, Halloween I will never forget because it's something that we don't really have. We do
Mhm.
have pumpkins outside. Some people have some decorations, but just since like 10 years ago or so.
Uh,
Before that, it was, yeah, it just didn't exist. So, but it's fun.
I couldn't imagine your first experience of Halloween being Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. That must have been like
It was super
crazy.
fun. Yeah, and I was also in the Fort Wilderness golf cart parade, which was
Ah,
also really really fun with friends of mine. And I remember we the golf cart was decorated with all these skeletons and stuff, and
Uh-huh.
it looked amazing. But right behind us, it was like one golf cart, like a Disney castle. It was amazing. So everyone was only looking at that golf cart, of course, and we're like, we did our best too. But yeah, that
I
was
mean,
super fun.
he had to be like Jack Skellington, like discovering Christmas, right? He's discovering
Yeah,
Halloween all at once and right before his eyes. What's this? What's this?
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was exactly my experience.
Wow. That's
Lawrence,
pretty
now we have
cool.
to ask him. We have to ask him, what party did you enjoy more? Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party or Mickey's Not So Scary?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Um, I think in the end, I would say the Christmas party because I grew up with Christmas, so Christmas is more nostalgic to me. So see, and that the last time I went though was in 2019, and that's when they still had all the castle lights, and it was beautiful.
Yes.
I remember eating snickerdoodle cookies for the first time in my life, and now I bake them all the time to so I can taste that again. It was a great atmosphere, but yeah, I love them both. But yeah, Christmas. That's my number one. And for you?
Now, is there a party in Disneyland Paris similar to that?
Um, they have annual pass parties, and
Oh,
they've had like 1990s parties and things like that. But
Ooh.
Christmas parties, I'm not sure. I don't
okay.
maybe I but not like at Magic Kingdom that they have them like every week or no, that's different. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, there's one going on tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a party tonight. So
Oh,
yeah,
fun.
there are a lot. So what would be my favorite? Okay, so I've only done one Very Merry, and it was just a couple weeks ago with Corey. Um, it is fun, but the Booty You parade for Halloween is just over the top to me. So I think that still wins out for me, the Halloween party.
Yeah.
Christmas is my favorite time of year holiday, but I do lean a little bit more towards the Halloween party. I fall in love with the Christmas parade because when you're on Main Street, it's already magical any day of the year. But when you add snow and the Christmas music and all that, it's giving me the chills just talking about it. It's so magical. It's like stepping into a movie. But the Booty You parade and the soundtrack and everything is just so amazing that I still kind of edge towards the Halloween party as being a little bit more of my favorite, but it's close.
Yeah, it is pretty close. And then Jollywood too. Jollywood's a totally different vibe. Different music. There's performances. Now there's ice skating. There's an ice skating show. Um, there's a band that plays over by Tower of Terror. So they're themed to like being ghost. And she's got a real sultry voice, and it's really good jazz. So Yeah, Jollywood is another favorite. I think if I did that again, that might move up the list.
I have never like melted listening to a singer in my life like listening to her. Like the way she sang, right? Just the jazz, the smooth jazz, and just the way she sang and just made eye contact with the crowd. That was an amazing performance. I would love to see that again. I wonder if they did that again. I wonder if it was the same band
Oh, I don't know.
this year.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So, I needed to ask this because this is one of the first things I saw on your YouTube profile is that
Mm.
you are self-taught. How does that happen?
Yeah, well, we
And
always
to
had a
become that
piano.
good at it.
Yeah, it's like for me, playing by ears, it's very normal. It's just what I do. Like, so we always had a piano at home, and my sister started having piano lessons, and she would have songs like just with one finger. Mary Had a Little Lamb or something, and I would just look at her fingers and copy that and listen to it, and I just trained myself to play the piano before having piano lessons. So I would just listen over and over again, and then with two hands, and then I did have piano lessons, but I got the same like books as my sister, and I already knew them. I already remembered them, right? So to my teacher, she thought that I was very good at sight reading, but I just play by ear. And then suddenly I got a new book with new music, and uh-oh. So I said, can you play this before first so I can listen to it? I want to hear what it sounds like. And she played it. I was like scanning the music while listening, and then I played it. But I also changed some things like, oh, this chord could sound nice. So I changed some things. She said, yeah, it sounds similar, but it's not exactly what is written. Guys, no, you should play exactly as is written. And I didn't like that because, because I always wanted to create my own music and make my own arrangements. And that was like just with one hand, or like I play like, woo, I already played so much more. So yeah, I kind of stopped practicing piano lessons, um and I kept on playing piano, but just all the music that I wanted to play, and not those songs that I had to play that I didn't like. So my parents were at first very like, oh no, like they were paying for all these lessons for me, of course, and they were afraid that that it wouldn't work out, or that but I think because I trained myself and play the music that I love, that's why I kept on being enthusiastic about making music in general. Because if I would have stayed and I would play the music that I don't like, then maybe I would have said, no, I hate piano lessons and I don't want to play it at all, you know? So for me, it was the best to maybe stop that and to train myself. And later I did have like improvisation lessons, and I did go to the music university, a conservatory in the Netherlands, but composition. So yeah, creating music. So that was and making my own arrangements, and that was more my thing.
Wow. Do you have a favorite genre of music to play?
Ooh. I play a lot of different genres, but I guess I love film music, for example. Last week, I did a concert here in the Netherlands, and it was all movie soundtrack themed. And what I love about that, it always has a lot of emotion, and sometimes it's very soft and very sensitive, and then big, with John Williams music and stuff. And I love that I love to play that as a pianist. It's wonderful to do. And that's also why I love to play Disney music. It's so I guess that's what I really like to play. But in general, I play everything, also pop music, jazz, or 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s music. A lot of things. So, but yeah, film music is my personal favorite. And Parks music.
Yeah, I grew up loving soundtrack music. I mean, I loved my 80s music, my pop music, big into that, but I thought I was a rare kind of kid in that musical sense where I just loved soundtrack music and have loved John Williams my entire life. And I can't play the notes, but I know them in my head. I always tell Neil, like, Neil, I can conduct. I need to be a conductor. I can conduct.
Yeah.
I love soundtracks. People don't realize how emotional, the emotion that soundtracks bring to music, right? Bring to film. Without it, it would feel very, very different. And it drives emotion. It's
Absolutely.
amazing how music can drive emotion, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Without, because I at my when I went to university, I studied film music, and at one point I worked at this. It was like an internship at this Dutch soap opera show that's very famous here, and we had to do 5 episodes in a day. But then the director came to me and he said, "Yeah, this is a new actress. She's supposed to cry, but she couldn't have tears. So please play some sad music." And then suddenly he was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, yeah." So with music, you can also really help the performance, or what people, it's, yeah, what you want the audience to feel. Like someone can smile in the camera, but if you play sad music or very dark music, you can manipulate with music, and that's really, really cool. I
Yeah,
love that.
Neil and I were talking late night not too long ago, and we were talking about this kind of thing. Do you think that it is most difficult to write music to a story as opposed to just writing, say, a pop song or a country song or anything like that, to like look at the scene, look at what's happening there, and pull and create emotion through the music?
Right. Oh, for me, yeah. Oh, yeah. I for me, writing music for film is easier, or musicals. I also compose music for some Dutch musicals, and when I already know what a story is about, and or a song or the feeling, I love to compose with atmosphere. So that's more like what I think I'm better at, even though I do like pop music too. Um, yeah, it really depends on what you like to create and what you want. Yeah, what it is for. Um, but yeah, I enjoy composing film music or theater music, because with the music, yeah, it has, you can put more emotion in it. Like for pop, it's more like that you have a nice vibe you can dance to. Film music, it's more like you can really pull someone's heartstrings, and that's a really like a challenge. If that, but if it works, that's the coolest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what is taking up most of your time now? Is it composing?
Right now it's performing here in the Netherlands, in Belgium, a lot. So also because now it's Christmas, of course. So it will be Christmas.
Mhm.
So right now I have a lot of Christmas performances, a lot of castles. We have real castles that are like 800 years old in every corner. Yeah, that's what I do right now the most. But for example, in January, February, when I have like, it's not as busy with performances, then I love to compose and do all those projects more. But right now, I wouldn't have enough time to
Mm.
do that.
Do the castles have good acoustics?
Some, yeah, yeah, yeah. Some have like beautiful big halls, and
Mm.
um, some are like have wooden ceilings, so those are maybe not as. It depends. There are so many castles. Tomorrow I will play at 2 different ones. For example, one is, I believe, from the 1300s,
Mm.
and the other one is more like a palace. It's a very different like
Mhm.
architecture. It's very different. It's from like the 1600s, and it is all gold. And I will take photos and post them on my Insta stories so you can see it is. And that's what I also really like, that I get to play at all these cool venues. Yeah, that's really fun.
It's okay to admit this. So, with these beautiful castles, 800 years old and all that good stuff, do you appreciate the Disney castles a little bit less than we do?
No, I love the Disney castles, and and they're, it's more like a fantasy castle. But for example, what I really love about Magic Kingdom's castle is, especially when they had the original colors. But that's just my own opinion. It's that it's quite authentic. Also, the inside, it really is like the castles that I've performed at with the. It's very gothic, and you also, some of the towers, I recognize them from castles that I've visited in France. So that's really cool that it's very, like the castle in Paris, for example, is way more storybook, more fantasy like. It's not a castle that you would see in the countryside or so. It's way more fantasy, but I really love that too. So no, I've always had fascinations for all the Disney castles and all the differences, and yeah, even though we have castles here too everywhere, but they're different. They're yeah. But I
Thank
love
you,
them.
everyone, for listening live and watching live. We do this live because we do it for you. This is the DizPod. You can get it on at the DizPod, all one word, and also right here at Living in Diz, D-I-Z. If you have questions, everybody, I saw some questions coming through. Maybe throw some cues down there now, and we can try to address some of those as we go along. So you can ask Gijs all of your amazing questions. What castle of the Disney castles that you visited is your favorite then? We've got Paris, we've got Tokyo Disney Sea, Disneyland, Disney World.
Oh, that's a really good question. Ooh. So I think every time I have a different favorite. What I Magic Kingdoms is like Tokyo has the same castle but different colors, right? But I love how majestic it looks when you walk through Main Street USA. It's like whoa, that one. But also Paris, I love that in Paris you can go up and go down. There's a dungeon with a dragon with a huge animatronic, which is super cool. Those two are probably my favorite, even though I love Disneyland's too. But the other two are more like grand. It has a whoa factor. So I one of those two, I would say. I haven't seen the Shanghai and Hong Kong castle in person yet, though. I've only seen them on photos and videos. So, but yeah, Magic Kingdoms or Disneyland Paris. What about you?
Do you have plans to visit the other parks?
I would love to. Yeah. Yes, I didn't I didn't have how do you say that? I didn't plan vacations yet, but I would love to, for sure. I would love to visit them all. I've never been on a Disney cruise either. So there are still a lot of things to explore.
Yeah, our guest next week, Brent Hopper, actually does a fundraiser for Give Kids the World. So this will be 3 weeks in a row that we talk about Give Kids the World, which is great. But he does a fundraiser for Give Kids the World, and he does park hopping, and he goes and visits every single park in order to raise money. So yeah, he's visited all of them. Corey and I have only been to Disney World, so we are way down on the list. So
we're a little behind, but we're gonna get there. Lawrence, I feel like we have to go to all of them together. I feel like we have to go to all of these together.
All right, let's do it.
It wouldn't feel right for me to go to one now without you, or vice versa.
That's right. So you said you haven't been on a cruise?
No, I haven't. No.
Yeah.
Never in general. I've never been on a cruise. I did. Can I say that? Yeah. I auditioned to be a pianist at the Disney cruise once years ago, but I couldn't because I was already too busy with performances here. But even if I would ever want to work there, I think I would first want to be on a cruise to explore it as a, how do you say that, as a tourist, to see what it's like, and
rather than working first.
Right. First I want to see if I would even like being on a ship, Yeah. But I've heard people love it. So that's something that I would love to experience once.
I couldn't imagine.
Have you been on a Disney cruise?
I couldn't imagine having to turn. We've never been on one. Catherine, actually, my fiance, a little bit ago, she was talking about it because she wants to. She had said that she wants to go to Disneyland for her birthday next year, and then she's like, "But maybe we could do a cruise instead." So we'll see. Maybe next year is the first year. I couldn't imagine having to turn down a job like that because you're too busy with composing and performing. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't. It was something like, yeah, you have to be in Toronto in 2 weeks or whatever. Like, what? No. So yeah, it was all too last minute. But maybe someday. But first, I want to be like a guest on the boat first to see it from that side. Yeah.
Marty M in chat says, please ask Heis about Stroopy, his cat who is always up to something on his live streams.
I wonder where she is. She was just walking here, but I think she is downstairs now. So yes. Do you know the stroopwafel? That's our Dutch cookie. We call it stroopwafel. It's like two waffles, very thin. With in between there is a caramel layer, stroop, and it is the best cookie you've ever had. And I believe it's getting more and more known in USA. You have in New York, you have a stroopwafel bakery at the Penn Stations, I believe. But I named my cat after one because every time I would visit my friends in Orlando, I would always bring like 10 packages of freshly baked stroopwafels with me. And so when I got a cat, when I moved here, of course I had to call her stroopwafel. Well, Sloopy, that's her. I always call her Sloopy. But I don't see her now, so maybe later she will come and she will jump on my lap, and then I'll show you her.
That's good. Keep those questions coming. What is your favorite John Williams piece to play?
Ooh, that's a good one. For example, I love to play sorry Schindler's List, which is beautiful. I also love Across the Stars from Attack of the Clones. I love, for example, Somewhere in My Memory, Home Alone. I love that one too. So many. It's really hard to choose from. His repertoire is enormous. So, do you have a favorite?
Man, there's a lot of them. Well, I'm gonna reach back a little bit. How about Princess Leia's theme?
Oh yeah. Oh, I love that one too.
Love
That's
that one.
beautiful.
Think you could give us like a minute taste of that?
Sure,
Or
I could try. Yeah, sure. I will play a little bit. Is that okay?
Okay, we're putting him on the spot here. Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Etc. Or I also love Yoda's theme. Yes.
Beautiful that is. Yes.
Something like that.
Very nice. Very nice. Two beautiful pieces for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, even for me, like, even I forget what the name of it is, but the Harry Potter theme.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just some of the stuff he did. Did you see the movie on Disney Plus? Just
About John
recently?
Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. I loved it.
Man, that was amazing.
Great.
it was amazing. And I thought that I knew like most about John Williams, but I wasn't. This documentary is amazing. I recommend everyone to watch it. Also, that he was a pianist in like movie orchestras before. I didn't know. Well, no, I didn't know that.
Mm.
That's great. It's crazy. But yeah, he had a huge influence on so many people and also on me. And yeah, it's his music is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting how when he took on a new project, it seemed to me that he would pull from other projects, other soundtracks for inspiration and things like that. Did you notice that? And then maybe that's something common for composers.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes they borrow their own music, or also, for example, Star Wars. A lot of that is the planets. Some themes you can hear in the music of the planets by, is it Gustav Holst? Is it? I'm not sure. But also composers like Andrew Lloyd Webber in his musicals. There is one melody that's in 3 or 4 different musicals of his. So some people do, yeah, they how do you say that? Replicate or
Mhm.
make different versions, or yeah, that's like sometimes their
Yeah, I
signature
feel like
sound or so.
there's a really great similarity in Marion's theme from Indiana Jones and Princess Leia's theme. There's
Oh yeah,
moments where
yeah.
I feel like I can't even separate them. But there's something about John Williams where I just hear his music and you can go, "That's classic John Williams." There's just
Mm,
certain things I feel like that he uses in pieces of music, you're like, "That's John Williams."
yeah.
And, there's nobody even close, in my opinion, to how great he is as a composer. You can just name off so many movies that he's done, that, you can just you can list other movies, and people just aren't gonna know what the music is to that, even the main theme, to a ton of other movies. But if you just go Jaws, E.T., Close
Yeah,
Encounters, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Schindler's List, whatever, everybody
yeah,
just knows. So,
yeah. It's
yeah.
incredible. And also the detail of the work, like it's so detailed, like, oh my gosh, you didn't have to do that, but he did. Like Star Wars, or it's not just a score, it's a symphony. It's crazy. And he put so much effort in his scores that not a lot of other composers do. Like it's so much work, but the result is it's timeless, and it's wonderful.
Mhm.
Yeah, even like Close Encounters, that last piece is just there's so much going on in there. And that documentary, it shows that each note of each piece was written like with, pencil or pen or whatever. It's like that's a you there's so much going on, you would just think it was just, you know, out of his head, here it is, record it. But no, each one of those has to be written down and has to make sense, and there's got to be a flow to it. And there's so much music theory. I don't read music, um, and I don't play an instrument, but I've always been enthralled with music theory and why composers do certain things that they do. And his music is just incredible.
Yeah,
I
and
wanna see if I can replicate.
what I
Oh,
also
go ahead.
really love about, for example, Star Wars, is when you know which melody belongs to a certain character, then you can just listen to the soundtrack, and then you can follow the story. Like, oh, there's Darth Vader,
Hmm.
and that's really cool that he gave each character a theme, and sometimes two characters they got come together, and then he has a new theme for the two characters together. It's really smart. Really, it's amazing.
Yeah, you've got Han and Leia across the stars. Uh, you've got I forget the title of that one, but you've got the battle between Obi-Wan and Anakin. There's just so many really cool things. And when I go into, like, say, the Star Wars store in Disney Springs, that kind of thing, I'm a
Yeah.
musical, I'm a John Williams nerd. Like, I will say to the kids, I know exactly what's happening in the scene, and I usually give them the lines to it. This is what's happening here. This is what's happening here. So, and
That's
like
cool.
Lawrence was talking about music theory and all that, and I can remember John Williams saying something like, "What made like Close Encounters so interesting. A few simple notes like dun 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 dun. That last note, everybody expects it to go high instead. Dun 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 dun. Instead, it's dun. And he said that really
Right.
separated and like caught people's eye or ear, I should say. Just
Yeah.
different, breaking the rules, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he's stuff he's done is just amazing. Just amazing. Let's see. Let me jump back into questions here. So Alyssa asks, what's your favorite Disney song to play?
Ooh. Oh, that's a tough question. Um, because I love to play Disney music from the movies, but also from the parks. Um, that's really tough. It, for
pick a
example,
park
I
and pick
think
a soundtrack.
Yeah.
yes. For example, for a soundtrack, I think "When You Wish Upon a Star" is the anthem of Disney. I love to play that whenever I do a Disney performance somewhere or at Disneyland Paris. I would always start with "When You Wish Upon a Star."
Mm.
I also really love Horizons from, even though I never got to ride Horizons at Epcot, but the music.
Wow. Wow.
I can't hear him, Lawrence. I don't know if everybody else can.
I can hear him. Are you hearing me, Corey?
Yes.
Okay. Let me try and do something there. Um, Let me ask another question while we're doing that. So when did you start playing the piano?
Yeah, like when I was about 3 years old, I think, because my sister was like 6 when she started having piano lessons. So then yeah, that's when I kind of, it didn't sound good. I was just slamming the piano, but like from 3 years old, 4, and then I started to really like doing it. And so, yeah, like 3, 4 or so, that's kind of when I started experimenting with the piano. Yeah, I became better at it with time, of course. So that's like, yeah, around that time, I guess.
Wow. Wow. And so when did you know that this was going to be your career? At what point did you say this has got to be what I do?
Um, I think when I went to high school, I start when I was a kid. Actually, playing the piano was not something that made me popular. Everyone was more laughing at me because I played the piano than that it was cool. So in the beginning, I was just playing for myself at home after school time. I would just play for myself. But then I went to high school, and then they had like music nights and stuff, and then I would perform and I would accompany singers and kids from my class who would sing. And then suddenly people liked what I did, and that gave me more confidence, like, oh, I'm actually doing something that I enjoy but that other people enjoy too. That is cool. I'm
Mm.
um and also I went to see this Dutch play or a musical, and when I arrived home, I could play all the songs. And my parents were like, "How do you know that song? Yeah, I just heard it." I said, "No, that's not possible." And then for Sinterklaas, that's our Santa Claus in the Netherlands. I was December 5. That's when we get all our presents. I got the CD from it, and then I played it, and then my parents were like, "What? Those are the songs that he's playing all this time." So then they were like, "Oh, he can play by ear. He like his memory. He remembers everything." And to me, it was normal, but according to my parents, it wasn't really. And they said, you should do more with this. um, when I did, and then much later, I did audition for the University of Music. And still then I didn't know if I could make it my work, even though I was already very busy with doing performances in the Netherlands. But so I had a plan B, and it was something in tourism or so. So it really depended for me if I would get hired to go to this school. And I got in. So then I was like, okay, this is what I got to do. And yeah, and even though it is work, it's still my passion. I really enjoy music, and that's why it never feels like work, and it feels like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do. So so I love it. And also doing these live streams every Sunday on YouTube, it is so much fun, because with normal performances, for example, for tomorrow, I have a list of songs that I need to play. I got a lot of requests for this particular event, and then I play them. But on Sundays during my live streams, I can play anything, and people can ask any request, and it can, sometimes it's very random or something that I don't know, and then I listen, I play, and that's it's very spontaneous. But and even though it is live, so sometimes it can be a little bit scary to do a certain song that you've never played before, but then let's go for it, and that makes it really fun. So the performances, and the freedoms of all these live streams, yeah, it is still my passion, music.
Do you play?
do
Do
you
you
see
play every
the-
day, or do you feel like? Sorry, Lawrence.
No.
Do you play every day? Do you feel like you have to play every day to keep sharp? My buddy Neil has to play every day, even if it's 2 a.m.
Yeah, I do play every day. Yeah, sometimes just to rehearse music, but also like for some people go for a run, they do yoga to clear their mind, or I just play the piano and I play whatever song I'm in the mood for, and it always helps. It's like therapy, really. So I do play every day. And sometimes on this piano, this is a digital piano, so I can wear my headphones, and even though it is 2 a.m. right now, no one can hear me. But downstairs I have an acoustic piano, and that one is much louder. So I play all the time.
Do you prefer the acoustic one?
Yes, eventually. Even though I'm very happy with this piano, it has the sensitivity of a real piano, and has a lot of different sounds, and also for my live streams I can adjust the volume, and with this microphone, whenever I sing, I can I can add reverb. Then it sounds so that way. For live streaming, this is way more convenient, of course, because
Sure.
this sound goes directly to my computer, and so people at home can. Yeah, it's better than just because I used to do my live streams on Periscope, as I said earlier, and then I did that with my iPhone, and then just the microphone of my iPhone would catch the sound, so that wasn't always very good. But of course, an acoustic piano, I would always prefer like a real piano. It just feels and sounds a little bit different, and so I would always choose that.
So when did you start your YouTube channel?
Oh, years ago. I was still at school in 2006. That's when I posted my first video. I didn't want to show my face. I was too shy. And it was a never-ending story, madly. I grew up with that movie, and I recorded this video with my parents' webcam, and it was in black and white. And the actual video was not that bad, but when I uploaded it to YouTube, it was like super pixelated for some reason. And I remember I recorded it once, and it was 4 minutes and 1 second. But back then you could only upload videos up to 4 minutes. So I had to re-record it again. So yeah, that was my first video. So I posted videos 18 years ago. That's crazy to think about that. And live streaming, I started 4 years ago here on YouTube. Oh, Soapy's here. Oh my gosh, Soapy. She ran away. She was underneath. She was underneath the oh my gosh, I'm translating in my head. Couch. She was underneath the couch, but she ran away. So she will come
Yeah,
back
Maddie
later.
is saying you started December 29th, 2006 was when you started your YouTube channel, and then you were on Periscope before that.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
Donna
started
Dworsky was
doing
talking
live
about this.
stream. Yes, Periscope I started in 2015. So that was the first live streaming app, but later you could live stream on Facebook and Instagram too. So it made it less unique, and then Periscope died.
Mm-hmm.
And before that happened, I moved to YouTube, and and now this Sunday I will do my 210th episode, and it will be Disney themed. So this Sunday I will play all Disney, also the Disney Christmas songs and things like that.
Nice.
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 My Lawrence always recalls his first discovery of Disney YouTube live streamers. Hello. But Periscope, man, that brings me back. When we lived way up north in the United States, in Maine, before we came all the way down to Florida. And I remember Periscope because there was a cast member. I don't even know how I discovered it. I think I downloaded Periscope and I was looking through it or whatever. Can't even remember what the interface looked like. And there was a cast member that went live for a few minutes or showed like the nighttime spectacular or wherever she was. And Tammy's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, can't remember her name. And I just remember wanting to watch her every night for however many minutes she was on, just to capture a little bit of Disney. That was my first experience too.
Yeah. And it was so fun. And also because it was a live streaming app, a lot of people that would watch my show would live stream themselves too. So then I would follow them, and then I saw that they were walking around Magic Kingdom, and so that was really fun that it was live streaming only. So that's a little bit different on YouTube, but I love that. Yeah, like you also have a whole community and so many wonderful people, and that's great about live streaming, that and also this, like I said, it's very spontaneous. So many things can go wrong. I've had so many bloopers, but that's the charm of it. And even though I also like to just record music videos and record everything to perfection, but live streaming is it is so much fun to interact with everyone watching. And
absolutely. Go ahead, Lawrence.
So we're going to take a look in a second at a quick snippet of your Luminous performance. But is there one show that you want to do that you haven't done the soundtrack to?
Oh, that's a good question. The first one I did was Happily Ever After. And I wanted to record it because I saw the show a couple of times. And one time I was at the piano and I started playing. And then I went to the next segment. The evening star is shining bright. And then out there. And I was like, I can play almost the whole show. I want to record this. And then I should record this in sync with the actual show. So but how can I do that? So I made a click track.
Okay.
So I had the original soundtrack. I don't know how, 22 minutes long, and I did tick 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 tick. But for example, Happily Ever After, the theme song is mostly one tempo, but other songs would like slow down and then go faster. So because I made a click track, I could play along to the actual tempo of the show. It was quite a challenge. So that was the first one, and then I did Wishes, and then Luminous. Ooh, I love Reflections of Earth. Some shows, like I was planning to record Harmonious, but it wasn't really translatable to piano because, for example, the intro, you hear lots of intros at the same time, and I only have
Mhm.
two hands. So when I heard the soundtrack, I was like already like, oh no, I cannot record this
Yeah.
or not the way I wanted. So, but with Luminous, when I saw it last year for the first time, I was listening to it and I could already hear what I could do with it. And even though it was a big challenge to play along in sync, but also like the whole arrangement, when I pressed record, I had to record it in one take.
Mhm.
So that was a challenge, but yeah, so much, yeah, so fun. And yeah, and thanks to Clifflix that I could yeah, use his amazing footage.
Yeah.
uh, because with Magic Kingdom, with Happily Ever After, the view is the castle with the fireworks around it. But with I feel with Luminous, um, you have the fountains, the close-ups, but also above you, so it's very more difficult to capture.
Mhm.
And Clifflix made so many beautiful shots from so many different angles. So I just tried, and I sent him an email if I could please use it for my video, and he said yes. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Cliff is great about that. I mean, he wants to share, he wants people to share the magic of those shows, and especially Epcot, as he is a big Epcot lover. So yeah, we have to have him on the show because he went to visit Splash Mountain, the last Splash Mountain recently, I think in October. So we'll have to have him come back on the show and tell us what he thought of that park over there.
Yeah, he was flagging me down recently over there at Universal, and he was so excited to talk about Tokyo Disney. So,
Yeah.
let's book him.
Yep. Yep. So, so you did Luminous. You'd like to do Reflections of Earth, but I mean, if you did that whole soundtrack, that's a big piece.
Yeah, so
That's a
I don't,
concert.
yeah,
That's a concert.
yeah, I have to, well, I've recorded pieces from the show. I made an Epcot medley, 3 Epcot medley, so there's already music of that. Soapy, oh, my cat went back. Yes, she's coming. Soapy, come. Soapy. Yes, there she is.
Got her.
Say hi to
Aw.
everyone.
There she
Soapy.
is.
Mwah.
Does she sing?
Hmm? She meows, yeah. Oh, yeah. Whenever I call her name from a distance, she would always meow back. But yeah, so I played some segments of Reflections of Earth in several videos, but never the whole show. So first, I'll have to listen to it again from the start to the finish to see if it's translatable to piano, because it is quite complex, but it is so beautiful, so beautiful.
Yeah.
So maybe that one, or yeah, Disneyland Paris is going to get a new nighttime spectacular soon. They're already testing it out, I saw. So I'm already very curious about the soundtrack. So maybe that one. But
Oh.
it depends if I can, yeah, if it's translatable to piano.
Are you excited to see our new parade, the new nighttime parade that we're getting?
Yes. Yeah. I think I'll be too early because I'm going in January. But yeah, I'm very excited. I cannot wait, and I'm almost most excited about hearing the soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's what I'm most excited about.
Yeah. Is there a ride that you mentioned Grim Grin and Go, so I guess it's going to be that one. But is there a ride that you like the music to the most?
Oh, Spaceship Earth. I love the soundtrack too, and Spaceship Earth had several soundtracks, right? With Tomorrow's Child, but I also really love the current one. It is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Sorin. I love the for example, the Star Tunnel music of Space Mountain.
Yeah.
I made a cover a couple of months ago, also with Priscilla, because there used to be lyrics to the music of the Star Tunnel music. We've come so far, so I made an arrangement of the Star Tunnel music that we all know, but then we would sing the lyrics to it with a melody that most people don't know, because they only used that in the 80s, and all that's left is almost like the karaoke, the instrumental of that song that they still play it. But always when I go when I ride Space Mountain and I walk there and I hear that music with the trumpet and then the all those sound effects, it's like, yes. I'm home. That's why I was in the airplane for 11 hours. That made me feel
this
like
is worth it.
Yeah.
Let me go back to the click track for 1 second. So that didn't exist. So you had to create that in order to then play along with it.
Right. Yes.
How long does that take then?
That didn't take that long. So let me see if I can. 1 second. So it didn't take that long. Oh, what was that? I have a drum set on this piano somewhere. Yeah. For example, this. So ready to begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I just played this. I recorded this, and then it would go slower, and then sometimes things would speed up. So I would just record this along to the actual soundtrack, and then later I would remove the soundtrack and play along to that. So on the video, my camera would capture the piano plus that click, and for the video, I removed that click so you could only hear the piano. So it was to help me play in sync.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I recorded that.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Great. Yeah, great question. Pamela V was requesting a little bit of Spaceship Earth music, and I love that entry music as you first start. I was listening to that on your channel today, and I'm like, oh man, I'm like right there, heading up to get my photo taken.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love that music too. I could play a little bit.
Okay. Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, let's do that. And of course, you also have this one.
Wow.
That's a part of the later in the ride.
Extra. Yes. Read all about it.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Very, very cool.
That's amazing. Lawrence, do you know what my all-time favorite piece of music in all Disney parks is?
No.
He's not going to know this, but I love to throw questions at him like that. It is Innovations. And I know that Heist knows Innovations.
Shall I play a little bit?
Yes, please.
Something like that. I love this music.
Wow, innovations.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I hadn't thought about that. Um, being your favorite piece. Interesting.
Yeah,
Uh,
Lawrence, that's my favorite, man. If you go back in the history of our channel, when I am, whether live or, whether through vlogs, there's a lot of times I stop just to listen to that music when it was still playing in the parks.
mm,
So yeah, we want to address just quickly. Unfortunately, we had to bring Heis in through Zoom, so you're not able to hear him as beautifully as possible. But so I don't know what you want to do with that, Lawrence. I think you have like video clips too that you can
y-
share with everyone, right?
yeah, I just loaded up one just so you can kind of see and hear um, what it's about. And Cliff, hello, Cliff Flicks has joined us. So welcome.
Yes.
Good to see you in here. We must have said your name 3 times and you appeared. So we were just talking about got to have you on to talk about your trip to go um, ride Splash Mountain again. And we were talking about how you let Heist use your video um, as the background for his performance of Luminous, which is just amazing. So I'm actually going to see if I can cue it up here. Let's see. Give me 1 second. It should cue up here. Um, so yeah, I don't know if you were in Cliff, but he said he wants to do Reflections of Earth. That would be such an undertaking. So let's see. All right, I'm gonna see if we can get that to play. This is just a quick clip, and it's actually this contains some of my favorite fireworks, which is why I use it. I have another one we can show later on also.
Also, read Cliff's last message too.
So that one there, when you go into Friend Like Me, it's just something about that. The way you're playing that, just it's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
it's a great performance. Make sure to subscribe to Heist's channel, Heist Piano. Um, Donna, if you can put the link in the chat. He is just amazing. And the live streams I think are great too. I don't get a chance to pop in as much as I would like, but definitely go in there. And do you prefer people to? I know they're really based around request. Do you prefer request during that show? Is it really mostly request?
It is mostly request. Yes, I really like that. So that way, yeah, I like to have a connection with the viewers. I always call them my High Spin Alive family. It really is. It is so cool that people really became friends with each other, or people that um, go on vacations together. I've played at a High Spin Alive wedding, for example, but like people that I know because of the show. I've played at their wedding, and that's amazing. So I always love to play requests, also to challenge myself to see, oh, do I know this song? Let's just do it. Sometimes it is yeah, very challenging. But I love that. Sometimes I do themes too, like Christmas, of course, or Halloween theme, or 1980s, for example. And then, of course, I already select some songs that I think that are cool. But yeah, people can always ask for a request, and I really like that.
Is there one that ever got you stumped? Like one that you're like, I thought I could do that and I can't do it.
Of course, yeah. Sometimes, yeah. Um, yes. Sometimes there are certain Christmas songs, for example, that are famous in the USA, but I've never heard about. So then I have to listen to it first before I can play it. So yeah, of course, there are songs that I just don't know, so I cannot play them until I listen to them and study it. Or yeah, so it happens sometimes. But I try not to. I always try to play as many requests as possible. At the end of most of my shows, I have a segment called Jukebox Madness. And then people can ask random songs, and I will just play like 15 seconds of each song, and I make the most random medley of all time. So then I play like 80 or like 50 requests like in a few minutes. So and yeah, and sometimes there's a song that I'm like, I've never heard of, and then I have to skip it, of course. Yeah, so yeah, it happens.
Wow. Movies like everyone.
So when you go live on Sundays, what time is it? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Corey.
I was gonna say, when you go live on Sundays, what time in maybe the US is that? And would it be Eastern time or?
Yes. Yeah, it starts at 3 p.m. Eastern time, so that's noon PST, and that's 8 o'clock in London and 9 o'clock over here. So my live streams are always like 2 hours or so. So yeah, every Sunday I always try to do it. Even when I like last Sunday, I think no one knows it, but I did a live stream, but I was actually really sick, but I always, it's, the show must go on. So I even cancel like birthday parties and stuff because it's really important to me, and I love it. It's yeah, Sunday is my favorite day of the week. Yeah, so every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, I do it on Ice Piano.
Nice. So movies like everyone wanted to know, what do you do on Christmas Day and Boxing Day?
So hello, Australia. So Australia is watching. What do we do for Christmas? Well, we don't have Boxing Day, and we do our presents already in early December. So December 5th, St. Nicholas Day. So that's a whole different celebration that I think only we have. It's like Santa Claus, but Sinterklaas rides a horse. He comes from Spain on his steamboat, and children sing Sinterklaas songs at the fireplace, and those songs are centuries old. Sometimes I don't even know what they're singing because the words are so old-fashioned, you know. And you put a carrot in, for example, a wooden shoe, of course, because I'm Dutch, and then you sing, and the next morning you get presents. So it's very like Santa Claus, but our version. So that's all early December. And then we have 2 Christmas days. So we have Christmas Eve, first Christmas Day, and second Christmas Day. So those are all holidays. So, for example, on first Christmas Day, you could celebrate with your family, and the next day you could celebrate, for example, with your in-laws. Or so that makes it very convenient. So you have 2 different options to celebrate Christmas. We always have a big dinner with our family. I always make dessert. This year I will make how you call that? A Yule log? Is that the word? Like a bûche de Noël. This this with chocolate and cream. It's so yeah, that's what we would do. Also made a tiramisu once, and I did that live on Periscope, and there were a lot of people watching me making tiramisu, and everything went wrong because for example, I bought heavy cream, but it was like diet cream with like zero fat or so. So it was more to make sauces. And I was whisking and whisking and nothing happened. And, and I had to stop the live stream and people were laughing and so
Oh
but yeah, so
man.
but 2 years ago I did my tiramisu again and that one was good. Yeah.
Tiramisu is
So I
one
love
of my
to cook and to
favorites.
bake, and I'm not a professional, but I always, oh, I love tiramisu for sure. Yes.
Very
And
cool.
last year I went to Florence and Tuscany, and I almost had tiramisu every day because it's yeah, when it was on the menu, I had to. I'm in Italy, so yeah, I love
Yeah.
it too.
Yeah. uh, I, so I
Ooh.
had it, and I do remember it being good, but I had it. I haven't been back to Indianapolis since the first time I took my family to the parks, which was 2020. So now you're making me want to go back. Yeah, I need to go back
And
to
I have a tip. I'm not sure if they still do it, but you could also order a tiramisu cake in advance, for example, as if it's someone's birthday, and then you get a big tiramisu. But and it's amazing, but then it's cheaper than if each one of your family member would order just the dessert. So
Mm,
it's a tip to order a cake in advance. That's what I've learned, and it
good
was really
idea.
good. Yeah,
Good idea. I like those type of tips.
yeah.
um, so do you have? So you're very busy coming up. These next couple weeks because time. It is now 2:38 over there. Where it is. So definitely appreciate that. But want to give you guys a chance to ask any of your last questions there of him. So when you come to the parks next month, how long will
Yeah.
you be coming to the
Oh,
park?
look.
Slopey is back. Sorry, what was your question?
How long will you be in the parks when you come next month?
Uh, like in total, like 9 days, something like that. A bit over a week, yeah.
Nice, nice.
Because yeah, it is an 11-hour flight, so then yeah, so something like that. Yeah, so I'm
Mhm.
looking forward to it. Yeah, and even and already a lot of new things for me. For example, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, also the new Country Bear show, of
Oh
course, is
yeah,
also it's new for me. So a lot of new experiences. So I'm very excited.
yeah. The Country Bears is a lot of fun. That's a very fun show.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't watch any videos of it, so I didn't see anything. So yeah, I'm very curious.
I did the same
Good, good,
thing
good.
with Tron Country Bears for sure. It was really
I
cool.
can't wait.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
So you're gonna be there for 9 days. Are you doing mostly parks? Are you doing about 50-50 in the parks and resorts? What's the
Yeah,
mix of that?
resorts too. I really love to resort hop too, and so the parks, of course. But I also really love to have to see the parks, but also to have breakfast at the resorts. I mean, and yeah, so like both. I'm not going to Universal this time. It's been a long time ago. I should plan more time. But yeah, so that's yeah, and also to see my friends that I haven't seen for a long time, and also to meet new people. So it's always a lot of fun to go to Florida, and it's also the last time I went. A cast member came to me and he said, "I played your version of Happily Ever After at my wedding." Like what? So that was also
Wow.
fun that people from the other side of the world recognized me. That was a lot of fun. And also when I'm there, I'm always listening to all the music and already thinking like what song should I record next or yeah. So yeah,
So
I'm excited. It's really it's like coming home.
now you made me think of another question um, that I like to ask people. So ambient music in the parks, one of my favorite things. Do you have a favorite area of ambient music?
Ooh. Oh yes, several ones. I love, for example, the music that they play at the queue of Soren, but I also love the music in the land.
Mm,
It is very similar. It's very cinematic. In the land itself, it is a little bit more calm, and for Soren, it's more like uplifting, like flying, as if you're flying. All these themes. Um, I love, yeah. Also, Tomorrowland, that futuristic sounding music. Um, for example, you should look it up. I love the loop of the nighttime loop of the Walt Disney Studios in Paris. It has all my favorite film scores, and it is beautiful. I play that a lot. For example, when I'm eating dinner or I have friends over and we're eating dinner, I play that. It's beautiful.
Okay.
So yeah. Um, Main Street music. Oh, I play that a lot.
yeah.
All these background. Yeah. Do you have a favorite?
I think for me it's Tomorrowland. I can get hooked on Tomorrowland, and I play that on a loop like when I'm working here at the desk. Um,
Yeah.
then secondly would be the entrance music to Hollywood Studios. Like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
the remixes that they do for the movie songs there, I think
Those
is
big
really cool.
band.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that too. And
I
also like the original entrance music of Epcot with all the classic themes. That's I oh, she's walking on the piano. Oh no 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 no. Ugh.
She likes to play.
That's right.
Yes.
She's
There's
talented.
cat
She's
hair there.
self-taught.
Yeah.
So with that said, what do you think of the new theme from Pinar? Oops.
She wants to play.
Yeah.
Look. Sorry, what was your question? I was distracted.
What do you think of the new theme from Pinar? Oh man,
She's very playful.
yeah.
Having some fun now.
Yeah. The new theme of what?
The new Pinar Toprak theme.
Oh yeah. Oh, it is very peaceful. I love. It's also in my third. I played some of it on piano in my third Epcot medley, and last month I released a lullaby Disney Parks lullaby medley. It's like 40 minutes long, and I play all the Disney songs in a music box way. Stop. And I also played that music too. The new Epcot theme. Oh,
I'll have
sorry.
to check
I
both
love
of
it.
those
It's really
out.
nice.
Yeah, I'll have to check both of those out.
She's doing
So for the people who are listening, they're like, "What's happening
Yeah.
over there?" My cat is like almost attacking me. She wants to play.
she's doing parkour off of you.
Yeah, really.
Yes.
There's such a reoccurring theme or hook, I'm gonna call it,
Mhm.
with Pinar's piece, right? Da-na,
Mhm.
da-na. And that is in so many areas of Epcot right now. And I'm always pointing it out. You could be walking by Spaceship Earth and it just kind of touches, subtly, or you're in that circular area. I'm forgetting the name of
Mhm.
it. Or it's the whole circular area we tend to end the live streams or start to end them with
The
all the
gardens.
posts and everything.
World
Yeah, the
Celebration.
gardens. Yeah, you hear it there, and then it comes up in Luminous so many times. I absolutely love that little piece.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she did amazing with that, and I remember December 5th last year being there. It was World Celebration Gardens opening the premiere of Luminous, and I wasn't expecting the new music. And Corey and I both love the last entrance loop that Epcot had. And I wasn't expecting this new piece. And I remember being disappointed because I loved just walking through Future World at the time with that music playing. And then I'm hearing this new one. And I'm like, all right, it's going to take me some time to get used to this. And after a couple times, I was like, oh, yeah, this is good.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Sometimes you just have to get used to new music. Like you have memories with music. Of course, music has everything to do with memories. And if like a future world with all the classic Epcot songs, like yeah, so when it has a new music, some people didn't like it at first, but
Mhm.
the more you hear, and that now it belongs there. Like, of course, now this is, and it's with everything. I think, even with Happily Ever After, because I always loved Wishes so much that when at first when I heard saw Happily Ever After, I was like, yeah, no, it's not Wishes. But the more and more I saw it, and now I both love them
Yeah.
as much. So sometimes you just have to make new memories with these songs, hearing everywhere, and then it becomes nostalgia too,
Yeah. Yeah.
and makes you happy. Yeah.
Yeah, same thing
Right.
here. Like, my family, like I said, I took them for the first time in 2020. There was no fireworks show at that point. And then the
Hmm.
first one that came in was Enchantment. So that's what they knew. So when that went
Yeah.
away and they went to Happily Ever After, they were like, I don't get why people are so in love with the show. But as you see it, the more and more you
Oh.
see it, and then you're watching it from, like, behind the castle, like we like to do over by the carousel, and you're just
Yes.
enveloped by all the fireworks and the music, and it just really starts to grow on you. So, yeah, I totally get that.
I
Cliff
love
Flicks
to
wants
watch the
to
fireworks
know.
from there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we like to vary it too. What does Cliff Flicks wants to know? What do you think of the structure of Reflections of Earth from a composer point of view?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it is. Yeah, it has so many, like, I would call it like ingredients, so many colors. Um, and I like that the show doesn't even have one single Disney song. And I love that everything was composed for a fireworks show. So that's what I love so much about it. It's, you can just close your eyes and you can see the fireworks, and it has excitement, happiness, but also um, that last like 2-3 minutes of that show, it always gives me goosebumps. The we go on.
Mhm.
Oh, it's really hard to explain, but that show is really special. And when I remember when they did the last show and I saw the live stream, I couldn't believe that this music would disappear from the parks. Like, I love to listen to these songs at home, but I always knew there is actually a place where they play all my favorite music. And then realizing that place wouldn't play it anymore. That was
Mhm.
really sad, really sad. Like, now I can only play at home, but no longer there. So yeah, that was really, like, it's, I might sound like a nerd, but I hope you guys could yeah, understand that it's sad sometimes when something you love that's at a certain place disappears. um yeah,
Well, that
that show is, yeah.
E I totally get what you're saying because even though I didn't experience it, we just did on Corey's channel, we like to do what we call Reliving in Diz, and it's a replay of older live streams, and this past Sunday was the day that, the parks closed in 2020 because of the pandemic, and what I expressed was even watching him and the family and everybody that was there, that uncertainty of you're taking away something that has been my escape, my happy place, and I don't know when you're bringing it back or if you bring it back or if it's going to be the same when you bring it back. So I totally get what you're saying. When you take those things away, I mean, when they close an old ride, it's it's to update it to make it something new for the next generation, but we still like you said, we'll have the memories, but you feel like they're taking those memories away from you, and we all want that
Yeah,
nostalgia.
and I think that's also a big part of why people decide to come back to Disney to relive and to hear the music again. And if and some you can come back to see a new ride, and because, like, I'm excited for all the new things that I'm going to see next trip. But I'm also very excited to just see and hear all the things that I already love, and if that's no longer there, that's like, but yeah, is it still the same? Yeah, I get it. Nostalgia is a very interesting thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maddie
Ma-
wants to know, do you have a favorite place to sit and relax at the parks and enjoy the atmosphere?
Ooh, let me see. Um, yeah, there are several things. For example, at Animal Kingdom, you have the Nomad Lounge. It is such a wonderful, peaceful place. I love it there. Also, my name is Gijs, and you have Geyser Point. In Dutch, it is Geyser Point.
Ah,
So a geyser that's actually my name. So I always joke that it's my my bar, and that's really peaceful. It's not in the park. It's not at the parks, of course, but it's such a beautiful place at the lagoon. Um, let me think. At Epcot, yeah, everywhere around World Showcase Lagoon. Really. Hmm. Or last trip I went to the Animal Kingdom Lodge, and outside you have these rocking chairs. I went there with my friend Rebecca, and she's in the chat. And it was also it was just relaxing, and then you realize like, oh, we're really here, and it was really a very relaxing place, and you saw the giraffes and everything, and yeah, that's also a really fun, cool place.
where are you staying when you go?
Um, at Caribbean Beach and All Stars Music, of course.
Okay.
Music, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I actually love music. When we go, I tend to stay at music, and I love it. This last time I was in country, which is I didn't even
Mhm.
know it was there the first couple times because it's all the way in the back. But yeah, I've stayed in country, calypso. I just like the theming of those. I'm all for it. I actually prefer
Yeah.
that over sports and movies.
Yeah, I've never been to music, so I'm excited to
Yeah,
see
it's
it.
pretty cool. Yeah.
And
Um,
I love the addition of the Skyliner. So from Caribbean, that's going to be very convenient to just fly to studios and Epcot, and that's a ride by
Mhm.
itself.
exactly. Yeah, you'll be in
Yeah.
studios in like 6 minutes. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Do you prefer thrill rides or attractions or shows or dark rides? Do you have a preference?
Ooh. I love attractions with lots of animatronics. I love and sets, and I would always prefer that over like projections, I guess.
Mm,
So I always love. So I love the classic rides like Pirates and the Haunted Mansion, but also Spaceship Earth and the I would love the Great Movie Ride because of all the animatronics. People were like, whoa, there were so many. So that's my favorite. But I also really love like Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, especially Big Thunder Mountain in Paris. um, yeah, it shows too, the nighttime shows.
mm.
Oh, it's hard to make a decision, really. It's all everything combined, everything together that makes a Disney experience. I think.
Yeah, it all comes together as the
Right.
entire experience. Exactly right. Exactly
Yeah.
right. Man, I got to tell you, I have enjoyed having you on the show and talking music and all things Disney parks. It is amazing to get to meet you in person. Hopefully, when you're there, you can link up with Corey and meet him in
That
person.
would be
I won't
awesome.
I won't be there. Uh,
Yes, yes, yes. Message me on Instagram, and
Yeah.
I'm always in the parks on Wednesdays and Saturdays, so
Okay.
that's the best time to
That would
catch
be
me. What?
wonderful. Yeah. That
Yes,
would be
absolutely.
awesome.
What are the dates you're out there again, or out here?
Uh, the 13th, I will arrive. Well, the 14th actually, because I will arrive at night. So the 13th I will arrive.
Of
Yes.
this month?
No, January, sorry. No, next month.
January. Okay,
January.
perfect. Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Perfect, perfect. Cool.
Very cool. So, folks, if you have not subscribed to Heiss's channel, please go and subscribe to his channel. He does some great live streams every Sunday, takes requests. He has his video of Luminous, Happily Ever After. Am I missing any of those, the nighttime shows that you've done? I know I had to watch those two for sure.
Yes, I did Wishes, and I also did a Nighttime Spectaculars medley.
Oh, wow.
So that's all like We Go On and We Are One, from Rivers of Light to, all these songs together. So there are several videos. A lot of my videos are Disney parks inspired because that's something I'm really interested in. So check them out, and I hope you'll enjoy them.
Great. So if there's times that I have difficulty meeting someone, I send out my representative, and that's Neil. Neil says he's dying to meet you. He has to meet you. So definitely want to make sure that we run into each other on Wednesday and or Saturday.
Yes.
But Neil's available like every day. So he lives 5 minutes from Disney. So if you contact me, I can make sure you get in contact with Neil too. He would love to meet you too. And hopefully we can do it together. That would be
awesome. Yes.
Yes. And don't forget to check out Heist, everybody, this Saturdays as well for Give Kids the World. He'll be there. Neil will be there. Josh from Resort TV 1, Corey, Paging Mr. Morrow, Bob, and so many more. And we will be live in the parks, and we will be going back and forth, kind of a simulcast kind of thing, taking you from Epcot over to Give Kids the World and back and forth, and see if we can help along with everyone's efforts too for that great cause. So can't wait. It's going to be a fun Saturdays.
Yes, I cannot wait. And I already picked my song for Saturday, and it is a Disney Parks song. I'll keep it a surprise, but I hope you like it. And I'm so excited to see Corey and the band and everyone perform. Oh, it's wonderful. So I'm going to watch it from the Netherlands, and I want to thank everybody for donating for Give Kids the World Village.
Yeah, we'll be helping to raise money for that. And thank you, Donna, for putting that in. So you can bid on a Zoom call with Heist for Magical Night of Hope.
Yes.
So make sure
that's for the first time. Yeah.
to check that out. There's a lot of good items in there that are up for bid. So certainly, if you liked what you heard today with Heist, you can certainly bid on that Zoom call. And that money goes towards Magical Night of Hope. So thank you very much, Heist. I appreciate your time. You've got to come back, maybe do a recap of your trip, in February or so, and kind of let us know what you thought of some of the new stuff.
Yes, that would be awesome. Thank you so much for having me, and it was an honor.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Everybody, make sure to check out Heist's channel on YouTube and his Instagram. Heist, we appreciate it. Go get some sleep.
Thank you so much. Yes, it is 3 a.m.
Thank you so much.
But that's okay.
Take care.
All right.
You too. Thank you.
All right, Lawrence. Another amazing guest. He's so great. His positivity, his happiness, just I don't know. He's great. So we're lucky to have him.
And there's something about people that I've said this to Neil before. There's just something about people that can perform music, that can write music, that can compose music, that can convey a feeling, and to be able to do all of that and be self-taught is just crazy to me. Crazy.
It's genius level. It's a different area of the brain that neither I was going to say you or that I have. We all have different creative areas of our brains.
True.
That is just that's a little section that not many people have.
No. So yeah, that was great. Do we want to talk about what's coming up this week on the channel?
Sure, we'll do that. We'll hit up our sponsor, and I would say we could wrap it up.
Yep.
I'll hit our sponsor quick while you're looking at that. If you're looking for a home that offers the perfect blend of luxury, comfort, and convenience with Disney World in your backyard, Victor Naraki is a licensed realtor with Vision Home Real Estate LLC, and he is here to help you find the home of your dreams. With over 13 years of experience in the Disney area home market and a proven track record of success, Victor is the perfect partner to guide you through every step of the home buying process. So why wait? Visit celebratingflorida.com today to learn more about Victor's exclusive range of properties and schedule a viewing with Victor. Your dream home is just a click away. And breaking news, Victor just may be joining Neil and I and Alyssa in Hollywood Studios tomorrow. So stay tuned to see if he is there and what he is wearing, because he is always super themed out.
Yes, he is. He fits right in with us in the shirts, and actually outdoes us, because typically he's got a hat to match, or socks, or shoes. Didn't he have? He had shoes. Was it?
Was it Buzz?
I think it was Buzz. Yeah, I think he had Buzz
Yeah.
shoes, like crazy,
Yeah.
absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So check him out. So that'll be tomorrow. And here's what's coming up this week on the show. So
This
tomorrow,
week on Living in Diz. Yeah.
yeah,
This week on Living in Diz, Hollywood Studios. We'll be out there for one of our final times, checking out the park and enjoying all the classic Christmas music and whatever comes our way. We've got a vlog coming out on Thursday. Tammy and I visited Deluxe Burger, and it's one of Tammy's favorite go-tos. It's a great value. Things didn't go as smoothly as we expected over there, but things happen. So we're going to talk about that and give you some tips and tricks and expectations when you hit some of the quick services there over at Disney Springs. And then, of course, Saturdays is going to be amazing. We're going to visit the Festival of the Holidays one more time. We're going to enjoy the stylings of the one and only Mr. Miyagi-Do, Ralph Macchio, reading the wonderful story, Christmas Story, with the Candlelight Processional. We'll try some of the foods that we missed. We took down a lot of foods last Saturdays, so if you missed it, go back and check that out. And we did the cookie stroll, and the cookie stroll surprised us. It was way better than it ever has been. So not phenomenal, but much better. Disney was listening. Yeah. So, of course. And then Relive in Diz once again on Sundays, 2 p.m. Eastern time. So lots happening here on the channel. And we're glad you're all here with us tonight. We do it live because we do it for you. And love all the new names there in chat today following Heist and Heist supporters. And hopefully you'll find it in your heart to subscribe to the DizPod channel at the DizPod, all one word, as well as Living in Diz. And join us out at the parks. We're live 2 times a week out there in Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios and all of Disney World property. So thank you all for joining us live. Thank you all for listening as well whenever you can on all platforms.
And I'll give you a little tease. So Heist mentioned that he would love to see the Great Movie Ride. Well, if Heist is watching the after show for tomorrow, he'll be able to see the Great Movie Ride. So our after show tomorrow is going to be the Great Movie Ride, since we're at Hollywood Studios. So make sure to check that out. And the after show for Epcot on Saturdays is going to be Heist's version of Luminous. So make sure to check that out as well. So thank you all for joining us. It's an absolute great night with absolute great guests. I can't believe we're almost at the end of season 2 here. And lots of fun new stuff coming your way for the show as we get ready for season 3.
Oh, yeah, we've got new stuff. Maybe a new opening, Lawrence? Just maybe? Oh, man.
A little bit.
You guys got some good stuff dropping. Theme songs, man. Theme songs. It's going to be amazing. You're going to love the new opening when it hits, when it drops. Can I say drops?
Drops.
Yep. The first show of 2025. Just wait.
And it's going to be live in front of a studio audience again, which is going to be phenomenal.
That's right. That's right. We'll leave you with this, Lawrence. Remember when I dropped a rhyme over there at in Epcot the other day during the cookie stroll. Cookies to the left, cookies to the right, cookie straight ahead. Let me take a bite. Well, there just might have been a song made about that. And we're going to have to find a way to play it all for you. So we'll figure that out as well. And thank you to Richard for working, not working with us on it. He just did it. He's the man.
Yeah.
So give him a shout out. And maybe there'll be more fun things in the future coming with that. So for now, everybody, we're just a couple of bros talking Disney, right, Lawrence?
That's it. We'll see you tomorrow for the pre-show. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.